What are the cons of not having kids? No one to avenge your death. Lack of cheap, unreliable labor. You have fewer excuses to use to call off of work. It can make you feel isolated from your peers, whether childless by choice or circumstance. I'm having medical emergencies in my 40s and still need my 70-year-old parents to bring and take me to appointments. Holidays are kinda depressing. I went to watch my nephews open gifts on Christmas morning, then spent the rest of day changing exhaust manifold gaskets, oil change, and a tune-up on my truck just because I had nothing going on. When I want to impress my wife by doing the dishes, I can't just secretly get the kids to do it for me. Having to pick up the dog shit in the yard myself. I'm going to put the lonely stuff aside about getting old. The cons is you never get to experience life through your child's eyes. You don't get to see their love and excitement that happens when they see you coming home from work. You don't get the joy and fulfillment of teaching them, spending time with them and watching them grow. I get these are just short answers, but it's hard to really describe the fulfillment when your daughter runs up to you shouting, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy," and then just wants to hang out. In addition to that, they are fucking hilarious. I have no heirs for my fortune. I have to count on a gold digger wanting to inherit. I would like to think that raising my own children I would be able to teach them kindness and acceptance to help rid the world of the stupidity that we can't get over. I likely won't have that chance, at least on my own children, but planning to volunteer to maybe help others' children. At the age now where my friends from high school are shipping their kids off to college and becoming late 30s empty nesters, basically regaining all of the perceived benefits of us childless folk, but with a whole adult offspring out in the world. That part seems pretty cool, but still no regrets on my end. Loneliness. As you age and your friends have kids themselves, you will increasingly find that you have no one but your to do things with. It's especially bad in retirement as long-term friends and family start to die off. You could easily find yourself with absolutely no one to talk to. I'd say one con is that since I don't have to get up early on the weekends to shuttle kids to games and events, I sometimes sleep in later than I expected. You wake up, and you've missed breakfast at McD's, and have to order from the lunch menu. No hash browns for you. It sucks. No one to bring you the remote. You always get the "so when are you having kids" question. Having to listen to all the parents tell you what a joy raising a family is. I think it's best to frame having kids as going on an epic life-changing adventure. There will be glory and wonder, and there will be horrors. The highs will take you higher than you ever thought possible, but man are those lows low. So you'll miss out on this epic adventure. But there are other paths to other adventures. Ones with their own excitement and peril. Or maybe you're more of the stay in the Shire type. That's fine too. Your friend pool gets really small because they all have kids and they can't do jack-s anymore. A lot tougher finding spare kidneys when one goes bad. Well, when I die, potentially. Nothing of myself lives on. I'm also the end of my family line. I have half-siblings, but only I have the name. People always telling you what you are missing out on. Eventually most or all of your friends will have kids and you'll be left out of a lot of things. I'm thinking how my Christmas dinner would look like in 30 years. People keep asking you when you're going to have kids. Heck, my husband and I are in our 40s, 50s with 7 adult kids between the two of us. And people still ask if we're going to have more children. People need to stop asking other people about their reproductive goals. Well, I'm in my 60s and I don't have kids. The downside is now I don't have any family. I'm the last one left. I work with older people, mostly those with serious and complex medical problems. Very often the role of carer falls to the childless adult child. Due to the perception they don't have anyone else to take care of, thus it's their duty. Can't really think of any except no one to take care of me if I do make it to that age. But that's selfish AF anyway. There is a really cool, super fun kids imagination museum in my town. You can only go if there is a kid in your group. I totally get that this is to keep out creepers and rabble-rousers. But I had just as much fun as my 6-year-old nephew. And can only go when he visits, which is almost never. People with kids will never stop treating you like you're strange for not having them. Always having to answer why you don't have kids yet. As someone who's not married and has no children, it would be nice to have a closely bonded group of relatives to come home to every day. It's definitely harder to get time off work. People with kids can get off at the drop of a hat. A couple of years ago I worked with 2 moms who would constantly have to go places at the drop of a hat regarding their kids. I tried to book a half-day 3 months in advance, and my boss said they would have to see closer to the time. There are some cons, but only for certain people. Some might feel lonely later in life. Some might regret not having kids. But lots of people that choose not to have kids don't face any cons. There are just lots of pros and lots of cons they don't experience. Literally none. I like kids well enough, but have zero desire to have them. I don't get anything for taxes like the people with kids do. I can't get food stamps. If I need help with a bill, the community center won't help me because I don't have kids. Being told something's wrong with you for not having them yet. Ask someone on their deathbed if they regretted not having kids rather than 20-30-year-olds having the time of their lives. You have to laugh at your own farts. Phew. I have them now, adults. They are wonderful and love them terribly, but I think no kids is a respectable choice. Particularly in the world we live in. I can't imagine trying to raise kids in a TikTok world. 1. You get excluded from friends' events who have kids. 2. Some special events like Christmas may get lonely as everyone is with their families. 3. Less excuses to get off work. I have work colleagues that take off all the time as they have to watch their kids perform or look after their kids. I call bullshit, but nobody questions them. I don't get time off to enjoy being single. 4. People think there is something wrong with you. Nobody wants to have kids with you because you're hiding a dark secret, etc. 5. People you may be somewhat close with assume you have excess money to spend on their kids. All I can think of, if the top of my head. I'll let ya know when I find a downside. I'm 58. No tiny slaves. Every tax refund season. Being told you are selfish or taking a free ride in life. Some people have no business being parents and know it. That is not being selfish. In a lot of cases, people don't take you seriously if you're a woman and not a mom. Especially at work for me. The annoying people constantly telling me how fulfilled they are with kids and that I won't understand until I have some myself. Same people that then complain how they have no time for any hobbies anymore. People usually parents invalidate when you are tired or finances are tight. But you don't have kids. No one coming to save you when the deranged nurses who get off in elder abuse get their hooks into you. The constant thought of what could have been. Or who they could have been. As a father of 2. The largest surprise was the change in social life. We've made so many more friends since having them.